사람 없어? 엄마와 꽃이라 주문 피자 왔다 저것도 벌써 pindah bukan apa har mahadev bunna Bhaktara Bhagavan Bhaktara Bhagavan Bhaktara Bhagavan
Knowledge is power, and with this power comes the opportunity to make others aware of interesting facts and stories. Good morning, friends, and welcome to Sarna's Stories of Odisha. Today we are present at a 7th century temple in the mid of the Kamrukshetra Bhubaneswar, and this temple goes by the name Sri Parshurameshwar Temple. This temple is dedicated to Shaivism. Well, before we talk about it and the history of Parshurameshwar Temple, let's talk about a very unique concept called Lakulism, which is dedicated to Lord Lakulish. According to Vayu Puranas, it is believed that Lord Shiva had declared that he would take rebirth on earth at the same time when Lord Vishnu would reincarnate himself as Krishna. And he also declared that he would come to the earth inside the body of a dead Brahman. So the story goes like this, that Lord Shiva took the 28th and last reincarnation of his form in the body of a Brahman by name Lakulish, and the ancient temple dedicated to this form of Shivaism is found near a city in Vadodara in Gujarat.
Hi friends, I am at Sisireshwar temple and behind me is the image of Lakulish, who was the 28th incarnation of Lord Shiva. So Lakulish, as you know, the cult of Lakulish was widely prevalent in Bhubaneswar in the medieval time. So before Lakulish it was Pasupati, and that is the earliest form of Shaivism in India. And Pasupati is actually the god or the lord of the animals, especially cattle. And the genesis of Pasupati cult goes back to the Indus Valley time. We have found a seal at Mohenjo-daro depicting Pasupati, and that is the earliest representation. Besides Mohenjo-daro seals, there is a site called Padri Gohil in Bhavnagar district of Saurashtra on the shore of Arabian Sea, Gulf of Khambat in Gujarat. So in early 90s, archaeological excavation was going on, and I was also one of the participants from Deccan College. And during the excavations, we discovered one earthen pot of this much size, where you had a beautiful depiction of Pasupati. So that shows that how widely it was prevalent. And later on, Pasupati cult, evolved into the cult of Lakulish. So which we see from Gujarat to Odisha, Kalinga, and also from Mathura to South India.
So here we have Lord Lakulish that you can see depicted here in the form of a monk in a meditating posture. Lakulish stands for Lakul and Ish, which is Lakul meaning mess or a stick or a club, and Ish meaning God. So Lakulish was a wandering monk who restored the faith of Pashupat cult among people. And his cult also believed to have opposed the concept of Vedic religions Jainism and Buddhism in particular. They are also the people who are known to have restored the faith of Hatha Yoga as well as Tantrism. Friends, by 7th century AD, Ekamrukshetra, the erstwhile Bhubaneswar, had become the melting point of ideas and culture. And the same could be seen in the form of artistic expressions and reflections on the temple walls. So as we see here, Lord Lakulish, who slightly resembles Lord Buddha sitting in a meditation position and is surrounded by his 4 major disciples that you see over here. The disciples being Karushya, Kushika, Garga and Mitra. The followers of the Pashupat Shivaism have a very tough path to follow. Their sadhana or the spiritual practice usually begins with the deepening of an ethical code, yama and niyama, the accent of which being laid on brahmacharya, ahimsa and tapas. The discipline is practiced in stages. In first stage, they would take various vows and practice releasing techniques. These techniques include laughing, singing, and dancing. In the next stage, they become a part of the society and lived incognito. Here they would practice very shocking actions with the purpose of attracting people's disapproval and condemnation. Well, gossiping, making strange sounds while in public, snoring, walking as if they have been crippled, and so on are just few of them. They would bathe their body 3 times a day in sand and ash and lie in ashes while singing bhajans in praise of Lord Shiva. The Pashupatas believe that when a person is firm in his or her virtue, then that person is capable of taking any abuse or insult serenely and is well placed on the path of ascetics. According to Pashupata Sutra, the Pashupata yogi must appear as a lunatic, beggar, with body dirty and grown beard and long hair and nails, with no care shown whatsoever to the body. By such means, the devotee cuts off his or her access to fortunes and possessions of the physical. Friends, right now we are at Mukteshwar Temple in Old Town, Bhubaneswar. This is believed to be Ekamrukshetra's most beautiful monument, built in the 9th and 10th century AD according to Kalinga School of Architecture. So the cult of Pashupati and Shivaism was supposed to be a very ascetic movement, and the followers were supposed to have a life which was completely devoid of worldly pleasures. The preachings of gurus to their sishyas believed in the idea that one should give up taking care of the physical self and nourish a spiritual self, and the same may be depicted on the walls of the temple. So we see here the depiction of a relationship between guru and shishya, emphasizing the ideologies of Pashupata cult, which was ahimsa, non-violence, and austerity, brahmachari. And we also see linga puja with followers offering their homages and the bhakti to Lord Shiva in the form of linga. The Lakulish cult flourished from Gujarat and went up to Mathura in the north and down till Kalinga. However, with the rise of Sanatan Dharma, the followers of Lakulish cult started gradually decreasing. However, at this place, we see there would be a temple erected for every guru who was cremated here, and this place happens to be one. And it is believed that in Ekamrukshetra we had about millions of such lingas and temples erected for each guru that was cremated at a burial site.
Lakulish and his representations in the Pashupata Sutra that defined a perfect example of a spiritual and yogic life has probably lost its sheen in an era dominated by pageant in the name of modernity. However, being responsible citizens of our beloved motherland, it is our duty to preserve the rich cultural heritage of our lineage and let the stories and legends be carried forwarded for the generations to come. Thank you.